Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another Friday stream. And the billboard thing's still on the couch from last stream, so it just looks like I'm casually flexing, even though it's not even that flexible. It's quite rigid, actually. It's made out of glass, most of it, glass and fine materials. Okay. Let's hop into FL Studio. Why do I even it's funny, I hop on and it's me and I say hi for, 2 to 3 minutes. I don't know why, but I feel like it's polite or something. So, I'm going to keep doing it. Cool. All right, here we are in FL Studio. What a surprise. One day, you know what I should do one day is not use FL Studio. I should use like Ableton and don't say anything and then see if anybody calls me out on it. But that's not today. Today we're using FL Studio. What's the billboard thing about? It's a long story. But it's but yeah, it's a thing. Okay. So, speaking of Cat Attack 85, why 85? You weren't born in 85. I refuse to believe that you're older than me. So, I always find it interesting to ask people why they have numbers in their names. For the longest time, my first email address was nick_man25@hotmail.com. And I don't really know why. I think my number in baseball was 25 or something. But I don't know where the Nick_man came from. But I did it with my brain at that point in my life. I was not a man, I was a child. I was probably 14. It's kind of like, yeah, that's still child. I was going to say it's kind of like I don't know, is a teen a child or is there a distinction there? I feel like this is going in a non-musical direction. So let's listen to some music. This is Cat Attack, Bleeding Out. Wow, that's aggressive. Okay, I wish it was longer. I feel like I don't know, because I guess bleeding out, you're not gonna get like a second wind if you're bleeding out. But I kind of wanted it to like flourish into a bit more of a like, whoa, not huge. We don't want a tear out switch up or whatever the hell you call it. Can you pull up the last submission I sent real quick to prove a point? Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that then. Why not? Cat. Here we go. Okay. Now what? Am I into prog metal? Not specifically, but I'm not into it. Okay. I don't know what the point is, but here's the last submission. Oh, Rayham wasn't here for... Okay, here we go. Okay, is that point proven now? What's the manscaped drop? Anyway, this is beautiful as always. My only concern is that I just wanted it to keep going, That's really all I have for you. It sounds beautiful. Maybe one more drop. I don't know, dude. It sounds great. I love it. No useful feedback though, because it's really good. It just, maybe I would like it to be longer, but hey, if you're bleeding out, maybe you don't have that long. I don't know. All right. Now we got Coalescence, future bass DJ. All right, here we go. Oops. I don't really hear what you're talking about, Rayham. Duke, very low chance you'll catch me there, to be honest. Yeah, okay. I agree with Kat. I don't really have an issue with the progression. I think it sounds very cool. It's very bright and exciting and energetic. But I do agree with Kat that when it gets to the drop, it's okay, now we have drums, Oops. It's like the same thing, but now we have drums and kind of an aggressive sidechain. So I would maybe figure out how to peel it back to something a bit more bass oriented maybe, or just hit it a bit harder. But it's the like the gated sound and the arpeggio going all the way from the start all the way through the intro and into the drop, and it keeps going. It doesn't give enough of a difference between the intro and the drop. I think that's probably the best piece of advice. On a more technical note, the side chain sounds like it's taking too long to come back to zero. If you listen to the sub bass, the kick drum is this long, but the sub bass is taking almost, sounds like a full half note. and it's giving the whole track like a bit of a too pumpy of a feeling. You know, it's a yeah, where it doesn't have the kick drum to match that side chain. So I think a little bit shorter of a side chain, and also figure out how to make the drop stand out from the intro. It kind of feels like it wants to have like some sort of complextro bro step dubstep kind of drop thing there. The bass things that go fink 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 fink, you know, that. Or you could tease a little bit of that and then cut it hard and jing 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 jing. Yeah, I mean, it's not just the amplitude, but it almost sounds like, I agree with, let me read your name, Destroya. It's also the brightness. It's the brightness, how much stuff is happening. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with the lead being or with the intro being exciting. I think you just need to strip it back to some more droppy sounding drop and get rid of all of the crazy arpeggio shit. Maybe bring it in halfway through the drop or tease it a little bit at the end of the bars. But yeah, that's pretty much, I think that Kat said it right. It just needs more definition between the drop and the intro. All right, cool. Let's move on. We got Cure 97 and Raptures, Queen featuring, oh God, Erizia 6. Oh no, 6 is June. Erizia. Okay, cool. I hope that it sounds better than me trying to pronounce the name and title. Let's have a listen.
From the girls, we stepping out. Treat me like a queen, capturing the scene. If you kiss my spot, promise I will show. I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could say it right, ain't gonna be no lies. I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could say it right, ain't gonna be no lies. Baby, I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could treat you right, ain't gonna be no lies.
Okay, so I keep deleting it. Okay, this is really cool. I don't think that we should have dropped out of the drop yet. We just started to fucking go. I love that, Will. I have no musical abilities, but that seemed dope. It was dope. It stopped being dope too soon, you know? Like, we just started to fucking go, you know? And then we stopped. Come up with a variation on the drop. I think that this section should be like this sort of thing, you know? Have a B part. Anyway, let's keep going because it's sick. It sounds great.
Meet me in the bar, drink under the stars. This call from the girls, we stepping out. Treat me like a queen, capturing the scene. If you kiss my spot, promise I will show. I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could say it right, ain't gonna be no lies. I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could say it right, ain't gonna be no lies. I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could treat you right, ain't gonna be no lies. I know what you need, you know what I mean. I could treat you right, ain't gonna be no
God. The frequency. Hold on. That is so low. My subwoofer is literally just going like this at the end of that. Anyway, okay, my thoughts on this is that you have many awesome ideas. There's a lot of stuff that sounds great and is I don't know. There's a lot of great stuff. I just don't feel like it's arranged in a very I don't think it's arranged that great. I think that the arrangement is stopping me from really getting into it because it's kind of jarring when it goes from section to section to section. It almost feels like you're working on these sections individually, and now it's time to put them together in a way that tells a story and gets me excited and then rocks me out for a while until I'm getting tired, and then it breaks down and it delivers the sultry vocals and shit, and then it starts to get me hyped up again, and then it hits me even harder this time, and then it keeps going until I can't take it anymore, and then it breaks down again. Like, it just doesn't follow. Like, if I were to draw out the energy, it's kind of like this, and then kind of like this, and then whoa, but then it goes right back down to this, and then it goes whoa, and then, you know, like, I would want maybe something that's a bit more like this, and it hangs here for a while, then it comes down. Anyway, it's kind of like my my typical advice when it comes to tracks that have really great sections, but the sections just aren't presented in a way that builds the anticipation, gets me excited for something, and then maybe tantalizes me a little bit, and then slaps me in the face with it, and then continues to slap me in the face until I'm like, hey, I've had my face slapped enough. Thank you. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Wow. Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't know why I'm. Oh, I see. Okay, sorry, I was looking at something. Yeah. I think, yeah, if you read 50 Shades of Grey or whatever, however many of those books, I don't know which one's the best, but maybe like the 50 Shades of, what are the other titles? 50 Shades of Grey, Anyway, that's my thought. My thought on it is that it all sounds great. I don't really have any mix issues or mastering or technical issues. It's really just make this more of a story and less showing off your production skills, in a sense, you know? That's what I think. It sounds great though. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Thank you for sending. It's always a good tune when we get it from Raptures. I don't know who Cure 97 is, but but they're also cool as well. Thank you for listening to that sentence. I started it, and when I started it, I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to say here, but I'm just going to feel it out and see where it goes, and now we're here. So let's listen to verbatim. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? Sometimes I feel like you guys just name these things so hard, so I have a hard time. Alstroemeria Draft Master. Okay. Driving this making so out of bypass for some of the snare roll off between part 2 and 3. Okay. Okay, let's compare to, this is the submission from last week. Let's listen to specifically the sub range. Yeah, that's way better. That's definitely going in the right direction. Once it kicks into this spot, it feels filled out, but back here when it first drops, I do kind of feel like these these empty spots don't really do anything for it. It kind of feels like it should have some sort of like sound designy thing in there. Something, it just, to me, it's not really doing anything to help the track. It just kind of reduces the overall energy level because we have these chunks of silence. But once it gets here, yeah, you killed it on the sub thing. The sub sounds way better now than it did in last week's submission. And obviously, you know, like this isn't mastered. The other one's got a bit of volume on it, but like it's more than just this one's louder than that one. This one sounds quite a bit better. So I think you're definitely going in the right direction. Okay, yeah, I think the chat has had some good points. I think that the most important thing here is that you have solved a lot of issues from the last one. This is in a way better place than it was last week, and it's mostly because of the sub and the mastering. I think, you know, like, yeah, sure, some of the drums could be just like better selected drum samples. I don't necessarily hate them, but they're not like, wow, you know, like sometimes you listen to a track and you're like, damn, that snare is so good. That's not happening for me with this one, but it's also, I'm not like, that snare sucks, you know, I'm not like Rayham or anything like that. So I don't know what to tell you about this, the actual drum selection, but I will say that the issues that I had last week, you have successfully addressed them. So well done. And why you say my name? Because you always hate snares like this. There's like the only the only snare that you ever like is it Tesseracts? I think Tesseracts are the only people that you're like, this snare is acceptable. Everybody else, you're like, this snare is rancid. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I think that you did a great job, And that's basically what I got. I think it sounds way better. Cool. All right. Well done. Moving on. Okay. Tez Katie, Stuck in Tokyo, a Dexy remix. Here we go.
Man in the dark, all they see is a man in the park. Cherry blossoms all around, but nothing you could care about. All alone, he's a million miles from home. When the city sleeps, he won't. You're stuck in Tokyo. You feel like a familiar.
See, like Graham has a good point. Adexi, I wouldn't say Adexi never learns, but if this is how loud the intro is, where do you go from here? How do you go up when you're already at the stratosphere? That's what I want to know. But anyway, let's keep listening because maybe we go into outer space. Who knows?
Feel like a familiar stranger, sleeping in the neon glow. Outside the seasons keep on changing. You're stuck in Tokyo. 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 At the end of your road, don't wanna be found. I know that the lights will guide you back to your town, or you could find a gun, a perfect murder you're out. You're stuck in Tokyo.
Okay, so yes, the energy still did come up a level, but I still think like the vocals especially, yes, they're up front and that's good, but they're also like pretty harsh because they're so compressed and so out there.
Round, but not
Like that breath right here.
round, but not.
That's a loud breath, you know? I still, again, think that we should be able to see some sort of indication as to which is the verse and which is the drop. I think it's gonna do nothing but good things for the track. The track doesn't like. Let's look at the RMS during the verse here.
But nothing you could care about. All alone.
I mean, the verse is louder than here. Let's just pull something up for it as an example, real quick, just for shits and giggles. If I go into my folders and I don't. Sure, we'll do Existentia. Let's see what the RMS value of the drop is in Existentia. Ready? So like 7 or 8. Now let's go to the intro of your song. The intro.
Cherry blossoms all around, but nothing you could care about. All
So your intro is as loud as the drop in my track. And I'm not saying maybe my track should have been louder. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that for an intro where we're supposed to be listening to the singing and getting into the and understanding the mood of the track and all that stuff, boom, she's fucking loud. Anyway, okay, let's move on past that because I feel like I give you that advice all the time, so you're probably aware of it.
from home.
But I do think that the drop will hit harder if it's not going full throttle leading up to the drop. Verbatim, it's a little bit, it's not just raw volume, right? It's also dynamics. It's also what, like, if everything's squished right to the top and you just turn it down, it's still going to sound really compressed. It's just going to sound like you took your volume knob on your stereo and turned it down, right? So I just feel like it's more of a mixing thing and less of a mastering thing. Just like, it just kind of sounds like Adexi was trying to get the intro and the verse and the build up and everything just maximum volume the whole time. And I think he worked hard to get it that loud when you almost should try to do the opposite in the verse, just like focus more on the vocal sounding good, those breaths not killing my ears or the S's, and chill out a bit on the verse, because we don't need that loudness. We're not like rocking out yet. It's like the foreplay, and then all of a sudden, boom, just stick it in. Anyway, that's not my official advice, although it is my official advice. Let's continue.
Say goodbye to yesterday. Face down on the battleground, like a king without a crown. Take your
Like right there, you can really hear the compression here. If you listen to the stuff in the background, let me play it again. Okay, so when she says without a crown, or whatever the word is, without a crown, and then as soon as she stops singing for a second, all of a sudden these background elements are like doodle 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 doodle, like right in your face. Listen. Like all that was being mashed down by the compression from everything being too loud.
Stuck in Tokyo. You feel like a familiar stranger, sleeping in the neon glow. Outside the seasons keep on changing. You're stuck in Tokyo. 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 Looking at the same set eyes that I stopped talking to.
Yeah, okay, so like in the drops, I don't think it's such a big deal that it's super loud. You can kind of sacrifice some, allow some distortion or over compression in the drop, because it's supposed to be loud and rocking and kind of aggressive. But my advice would be to not chase the volume during the verses or the breakdown sections. Allow the track to breathe and have some dynamics. My only thought for the drop is like some of those, that kind of high mid-range sounds are quite pokey. Like right there.
Looking at the same set.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds good. I would just chill out on the parts that don't need to be full throttle. Let off the throttle a little bit so that when you go full throttle, all of a sudden we're like, whoa, All right, cool. Let's move on. We got 720, Broken Rules. This is a short one. Let's have a listen. This reminds me of like if I'm like playing a dungeon level in like the original Zelda game or something. Okay, it's a cool beat. There's some weird phasey stereo stuff. Like some of these snares, plug-in on. Is the snare running through a bit crush lo-fi on an automation? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is because every once in a while the snare sounds like it's phasing out with itself or something. Oh, it's like the whole drum loop. Yeah, it comes back. Okay, okay. I think that might be what's throwing me off, that it's not initially clear what that effect is. It's just kind of sounding like the drums are inconsistent during some moments. I don't know. I'm not... maybe if that the automation was happening, but you had like a main snare sound that was always consistent. It didn't get fucked with. It was always there. We could always rely on it to like, nail the beat down. Maybe that's like, we could try that, I guess. Let's go like this. I don't know what the tempo is. 100. Yeah, it's the inconsistency that's just every once in a while I feel like there's like something in my ear or something. It's just it's almost like too effecty or something. This is a garbage snare. It's actually kind of cool, but it's not for the song. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool start. And obviously this intro is too long without having anything new halfway through or something like that. Maybe just if you want to do cool creative effects, if it's going to fuck with like the consistency of the main drum elements with the kick or the snare, maybe just have a kick and snare that aren't affected by those bit crushy things. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for sounding cool. PGX, good for me. Good for you, buddy. Okay, cool vibes so far. The vocals are getting lost in the mix, and it's not necessarily a technical reason. It's not like they're not loud enough. To me, it's they're being sung in a lower register, and the music, the track is so exciting and lots of busy stuff happening, lots of cool percussion stuff, but there's just too much, and then the vocals just like da da like underneath. Like, fuck it. If I were making this song, I would build it up and then like 2 drums, the bass line, the vocals, and maybe like some flourishes, at least to start off with. With the vocals, so let the vocals really shine. You're never going to get those vocals to cut through this mix when there's all these synths and chimey things and all this stuff happening, right? It's just not going to, it doesn't matter if you turned it up. There's just too much, there's too many events happening, and our ears and brains are tied up listening to all of this exciting stuff. And then the vocal is just not cutting through because of that. You know, like this is a perfect spot for you to build it up and have just a super dumbed down, stripped back drop. And then with the vocal on it. And now we have a good solid foundation, a nice thick beat, like a good strong kick, the bass line coming through nice and strong, and then the vocal doing its thing. And then bring in all those other elements as flourishes, accents at the end of bars and stuff. I think that is Kyle, no. We're all sold out of the number 9s. Sorry. Anyway. Oh, we got some rapping or some rhythmic singing. Small waist, a high body, swallow my pride. I need you beside me, that's my preference. Put me to the test, you know you my favorite lesson. We chest to chest, our heartbeats is connected. Put it on me, baby, you know you got me addicted. But you know you using your body like it's a weapon, and I don't like that. I be gone for a minute, but you know I'm coming right back. Right back in love, right back, go right back. Okay, so I think the vocal being super wide is a bit distracting. I think, you know, having the double and triple takes panned is cool, but having the main vocal come through on the center so that it's right in the middle, and then the other things are kind of amping it up and adding width, not the other way around. They're also quite dull. Like, they're very thick in the low end, but there's not a whole lot of top end, you know? But yeah, I think the main thing is just build it up. And you can build it up with all those cool synths and everything, get it all nice and bright, and then boom, simplistic drop, let the vocals do the heavy lifting. Don't try to overwhelm it with elements. Bring the elements in as pickups throughout the track, but I think having that building up and then just a super dumbed down drop is the way to go. Like almost like since we're referencing my tracks, let's see. Fowler, and here we go, like this. So it builds up. You know I did what I did. You loaded the gun. I don't wanna think about you anyway. I do it anyway. You know, like it's building up and it's getting all messy and shit, but then it just comes dum 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 dum, and the vocal is really doing the big work. So that's my advice. But it's a very cool track. It had my elbows going, so you know it's got to be good. All right, let's move on. We got Pat Maxton, if that is that's like a Facebook name, you know? Like my name is Kick. Wait, what? Where'd the K come from? Fick Nowler. Let's have a listen. Marinate. All right. Let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Take a moment, breathe. Let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Take a moment, breathe. Let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Take a moment, breathe. Let that marinate.
Let that marinate, let that sink in. Take a moment, breathe in. Hold on, just wait. Let that marinate, let it go do its thing. Have some thought in it, it's okay, be late. Let that marinate, get yours, get mine. Hold the line, tell them take time. Let that marinate, you don't need to rush. Best when you wait for it and get that in the long run. Trust, just let that marinate, let that sink in. Take a moment, breathe in. Hold on, just wait. Yeah, G, just let that marinate. You don't need to stress, man. Just be cool with it, yeah, and then go get that trust. Just let that marinate. You don't need to rush that. Did that, you done that. You can always come back, yeah. Just let that marinate. Let time go do its thing. Hold yourself, brethren, then see what shoes you're in. Let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Have some thought on it. Hold on, just wait. Hey, let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Have some thought on it. Hold on, just wait. Hey, let that marinate.
Okay, this is sick so far. I just want to chime in here. I don't think that the cutoff up there is because of the MP3. I think that's a mastering thing. Maybe they intentionally hard cut it at like, I don't know, 18 kilohertz. But Rayham, I was thinking the same thing. This does sound, it's very similar to Kyle's style. It's really good though. Like I'm fucking marinating in this hard. Let's continue to marinate.
Get that, that's right, hold on, okay, get yours. Let that, get that, that's right, hold on, okay, get yours, get mine, that's right, hold that, landline, tell them, take time, Hold on, just wait. Let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Have some thought on it. Hold on, just wait. Let that marinate. Let it do its thing. Have some thought on it. Hold on, just wait. Let that marinate.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of want steak now too. I could marinate in that baseline all day long. Okay, this is really great. And yes, Rayham, I'll pull up the other track because I am interested to hear what you're talking about. But you say June 2nd? Here we go. Okay, so my only real thought, and it's not even like feedback, it's just an idea that you could try. That bass line is really fucking good. I'd maybe like open up the cutoff a little bit during certain moments, because it's really cool. And I know it's liquid drum and bass, so you don't want to it's all about being smooth, but I think you could just open it up maybe 100, 200 hertz every once in a while and let a bit more of the character through on the bass that's doing the wobbling. Besides that, it sounds amazing. I love it. I love that track. I like I could definitely go 10 to 15 kilometers over the speed limit listening to that. I'm just saying. And this is not an admission of guilt, okay? For all law enforcement watching right now. I've never sped in my life. But if I had listened to this track in my car, I may have been, you might catch me doing 5, 10, 12 kilometers over the speed limit. Okay, let's now quickly listen to the previous submission. Super Jam. Dude, I'm not saying this is terrible or bad, but like, do this. Let that marinate. Liquid drum and bass is where it's at, man. You are killing it on this stuff. I feel like the dubstep almost identical. That's funny. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of that dubstep track, but I'm a massive fan of this. And I'm not saying that everybody in the world should just make music to try and impress me, but I think this is far, far stronger. So it could also be maybe like, watch this. If I just squished it a little bit more. We're not really like, we just got 4 dB for free because it's really not affecting anything. It's just making it louder. So you could push it a little bit harder in the master bus. But besides that, it's dope. I really like that track. Thank you very much. Let's move on. All right, we got Overdose featuring Nina. Sung vocals soon. Cool. I don't know, Rahab. I feel like you're cooking up some conspiracy theories over there. So just relax. Okay, this sound. I thought we all agreed to never use that sound again. Normally, it's used in the build up. It's usually going in the other direction, but that like filling a bottle of water, otherwise known as a bottle water, and listening to the air as the resonance gets higher and higher and higher. No more. No more. The next person that sends in a track with this effect sound in it will have absolutely nothing done in retribution. Retribution? Anyway, I don't like that sound. It's so overused. I've heard it in 14 billion trillion quadrillion songs since 2012. So let's get a little more creative with that, with the risers and the anti-risers, the fallers, the impacts. What's the opposite of a riser? Anyway, okay. The musicality part of this track is dope. I could definitely hear some really good vocals on it, very good and strong. The piano is super good. Downlifter, thank you. It makes no sense. Downlifter. Anyway. I think that the big synth is too up front in the drop. And I also think that the sidechain is a bit intense, especially like in those offbeat kick drums. Let's play here. Like right there. Yeah. It's too intense. The sidechaining is too intense and the sound is too loud, I think. Those are my main problems with it. And this riser sound. Please no. Besides that, I think we really got to get vocals on it, and then we can critique it like a full song, because it sounds like you've created a beautiful place for the vocals to live, and now we need to see the vocals living there with our ears, also known as hearing. Oh, my other thought was the piano sounds amazing. The strings sound like they came off of a keyboard that's at your aunt's house. You know what I mean? The strings are just not convincing, and they're too upfront and dry to hide that non-convincingness, if you know what I mean. It just sounds like somebody sitting at like a Casio keyboard and playing a string part. So either get better sounding strings or bury them a bit more so that they're more of just like a pad element as opposed to trying to sound like a string section backing up the piano. But the piano does sound great. Is it Lab's piano? I don't know. It sounds like it is, because I hear the little bling, like the flamming. But yeah. It's very, very strong musically. I would just chill out in the drop and never, ever, ever, ever use that sound again. Cool. Moving on. Thanks for sending. We got Nemkai Overdrive Instrumental. Let us listen to this now. Okay. Well, I feel like there's some dissonance happening. Na, na, na. It goes up a semitone, but there's still some like echoing from the other note that came before it, and they're only a semitone apart. Yeah, there's some notes. I think the biggest thing that I'm struggling with this one right now is just that the notes are a bit spooky, a little bit too spooky, if that makes sense. Like they're just kind of a bit too dissonant. They're very close to each other. Nah. Like it kind of works musically, but I feel like you can get away with a few of those dissonant moments, but when the whole the phrase, when the whole phrase is dissonant-y, then I don't know. I don't really dig it when it does that. You could kind of get some dissonance in to help build tension before the next chord change, or, use it like jazzy kind of stuff. But to me, the musicality of this is what needs the work. Trying to find a better melody or something, trying to find something that's just a little bit less spooky sounding. Unless you're trying to make something super spooky, then you have succeeded immensely. Also, from like a mastering point of view, you can tell that like your build-up rate here, you can see amplitude-wise is louder than the drop itself. So maybe the mastering, the mastering could be a little bit more aggressive during the drop sections, I think it does need to be a bit more aggressive because, like, look at all this headroom that's not being used. Yeah, I don't know. To me, the biggest thing is I'm not a big fan of the spooky, dissonant, melodic elements of the track. Take that with a grain of salt. If you like that spooky sound, then keep going. If not, maybe just try to make something with more typical intervals between the notes and stuff, if you know what I mean. Major and minor chords, that sort of stuff, and not necessarily like na, na. So it's like 1, and then it goes down 2, and then it goes up 3, so it's up 1 from the original. It's just the notes are just kind of spooky. Anyway, that's my thought. I think that production-wise, it sounds pretty good. It could be mastered harder, but to me, the biggest thing is just the spooky vibes I'm not a fan of. I hope that helps. Okay. Kadia, Summer Never Fades. It's been a while since we've had a submission from Kadia. Let's have a listen. I wonder right off the bat if the synth... I wonder if the synth could have some decay to it. So right now it's do 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 do, and it just holds like the amplitude is the same. I wonder if it could be like do 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 do. You know what I mean? So the synth is the bass up high. Yeah, to me when it's just holding that note with no vibrato or no decay, it's just very static. So I'm just wondering if the synth, the volume could trail off a little bit over time to give it like more of like an instrumenty kind of sound, if that makes sense.
I can't untangle the gray skies from my eyes. It's been raining for too long. I keep dreaming of white wines and warm nights, long days stretched out in the sun. There's no snow on the mountain mountains, there's no frost on the stars. The ice is finally melting in my frozen heart. So grab a cup of coffee, we'll take in the sunrise. As clear blue skies grow stronger, I'm tangled in your eyes. No one lives forever, I want to live today.
Yeah, I like the vocals a lot. I think that they are very upfront.
This is finally melting in my
Like too upfront, I think. Also the fundamental.
This is finally melting in my frozen heart. So grab a cup of coffee, we'll take in the sunrise. As clear blue skies grow stronger, I'm tangled in your eyes. No one lives forever, I want to live today, today. As long as we're together, summer never fades, summer never fades.
I love that. This is like this is very postal service kind of sounding. I like it.
Above the clouds and below the surface, reflections at the water's edge. I'm flying high, I've got good vibes and surplus. Don't need to be in the jet set. There's no snow on the mountains, there's no frost on the stars. The ice is finally melting in my frozen heart. So grab your favorite hoodie, we'll head out to the waves and make some brand new memories where summer never fades. No one lives forever, I want to live today, today. As long as we're together, summer never fades, summer never fades. Oh.
I don't think you mastered it too hard. I'm not hearing an issue with the mastering. Like I'm not hearing the kicks aren't.
I'm flying high, I've got good.
I don't think so. I don't think the mastering is too hard. What I think is the vocals are too upfront, especially when you come in with the harmonies.
I want to live today, today.
I do think that you're getting better at the compression thing though, because the vocals they don't sound like they're poking, like certain words are poking and certain aren't. I think that just overall they kind of feel like it kind of feels like the beat or the instrumental part of the song is here and then your vocals have been sat on top of it. You know what I mean? As opposed to like in the mix. So I think bringing them down a little bit's going to help. Like, I love this part, though. Like I said, I don't know if you're a big postal... Is it Postal Service? I think so, right? Postal Service? That's a band, right? Anyway, I really love that aspect of this part. I think the bass is a bit overpowering, especially because it's got that kind of unison detuny kind of sound, and every once in a while it'll get really like overpoweringly loud. So if I go here.
Reflections at the
Yeah, again, right here, this is, I think the fundamental is a bit loud in your voice, but overall the vocals are just too loud, which is kind of a nice problem to have because normally it's the other way around. But the vocals just feel like they're on top of the mix.
Above the clouds and below the surface.
I also think that I don't know if you are de-essing or not. But yes, I will listen to the whole thing. Sorry, I'm just going through section by section. The S's are kind of a bit harsh.
Above the clouds and below the surface. Reflections
and inconsistently harsh, because like right here, this S and then this S are not they're not the same level of harshness. The first one is quite pokey and the second one is not. So I'm not sure if you're de-essing or not. The one on the surface is a bit whistly. Yeah, maybe that's why. Okay, let's keep going.
Clouds and below the surface, reflections at the water's edge. I'm flying high, I've got good vibes and surplus. Don't need to be in the jet set.
I feel like when I can't give any pointers, I feel like I can always just tell you straight up how I'm feeling about the track, what I like about it, what I don't. You can choose to follow it or not. I'm not sure if pointers is the right word, but opinion. And I like seeing your guys' opinions too, so it's not just mine. Let's keep going.
There's no snow on the mountains, there's no frost on the stars. The ice is finally melting in my frozen heart. So grab your favorite hoodie, we'll head out to the waves and make some brand new memories where summer never fades. No one lives forever, I want to live today, as long as we're together. Summer never fades, oh. Snow on the mountains, there's no ice in my heart.
Yeah, I mean this part's dope, the harmonies and everything. Obviously, the singing is you got the singing part down pat. It's more the technical aspects of it, I think, that you are still growing with. But like the harmonies are great. But okay, so right here, we can really hear that the fundamental in your voice, it's almost like, I don't know how close you were to the mic or what mic you're using, but it almost sounds like you might have been like right on top of it, because it sounds like the proximity effect where it really emphasizes the bottom end of your vocals when you're too close. And you might have to do something like,
Snow on the mountain, snow on the mountain.
So if we listen to No Snow on the Mountains here, I'll just loop this section.
Snow on the mountain, no snow on the mountain, no snow on the mountain, no snow on the mountain.
So I'm pulling like 6-7 dB out of that fundamental range, and I think that it sounds better. The vocals sound less. I feel like what it does is when you have that big boost, it makes it seem like, oh, this is a recording of a vocal, not just, oh, this is a vocal. You know what I mean? I think that's where you hear, that's like the emotional response to a good or bad sounding vocal track, is that one is obviously a recording of somebody singing and the other is just somebody singing, I think that's the best way to put it. So I would be careful on how close you get to the mic. And even if you do get too close to the mic and you love the performance, you can still just pull a bit of that bottom end out. Okay, let's keep going.
No snow on the mountain. No one lives forever. I want to live today. As long
But like the chorus, I don't hear please call this song "There's absolutely fucking zero snow on the mountain. Stop polluting, you bastards." That's funny. Yeah, the chorus and the harmonies and everything, they don't seem to have that fundamental problem. So whatever was different, either with the way you were singing into the mic or the way you're processing the vocals between the verses and the choruses don't seem to have that same fundamental muddy bump as the other one. But yeah, I think you've definitely come a long way with the vocal mixing. It sounds to me like the vocals are mixed. Like if you ignore the instrumental, it sounds like the vocals are mixed properly for the most part. Besides that fundamental bump in the de-essing, they sound good in like by themselves, and then they just kind of feel like they've been sat on top of the track. So pull them down and mix them in a bit better, and I think you'll be laughing. Okay, thank you for sending. That was great, and I hope that your climate anxiety is helped by singing this song. Sometimes I say shit and I'm just like, what the fuck am I saying? That's happened twice today so far. All right. It's because I was thinking about something else as I was saying it. All right. That was cool. Thank you. All right. Let's move on. How many times can I say all right? It's hard to say, but all right. Ice Cab, cool dubstep drop thing. Okay. We finally get another track from Ice Cab. Let's have a listen. This is a I can't believe I was just interrupted by a dubstep song. Okay, so I have a few thoughts. I know everybody is has said that the laser zaps are too loud, and they are. That is one of my thoughts. Oh my God, a new PC. I forgot about that song. I love that. Anyway, there's like this background noise. It just kind of sounds like one of those like go to sleep things where it's like playing the ocean sound or something. But instead of trying to put you to sleep, it's trying to keep you awake for like the 72nd hour. You know, it's trying to keep you awake for like 4 or 5 days straight. Yeah, whatever the ambience thing is, I don't think it's doing anything great for the track. I think it's just kind of covering up the sound of whatever like the synth is. Because when it came back in with the bass and the synths, it I didn't even know it was in that key until that point. Okay, sorry. Yes, those are my thoughts. I think that the background noise, it's cool. It's definitely, I like it a lot better than the last track that you sent in. And I like the melodic parts that come in. But I just think that the background noise isn't doing anything for it. And those zaps are too loud. And those are my thoughts. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for sending. Very cool, very heavy. All right, we got Higher Think, Take a Chance on the Dance Floor. Take a chance on the dance.
Pure soul in your body, make you feel right. Full force, can you pull me closer, baby, real tight? Came in with a plan that I couldn't understand. Where you're at, what you're on, when I feel alive all night. Lights out, go wild when the bass hits. Tight lips, drop dead if I say shit. Break down, let me get the dogs at the cages. Catch you slipping, better tighten up your laces. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. One shot, once again, like an encore. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. One shot, once again, like an encore. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. Drip, drip, drip from my head to my toes. And my fits all through, flurry till my clothes. Just slip, 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 pull it off my shoulder. If you want to, if you want to. Drip, drip, drip from my head to my toes. And my fits all through, flurry till my clothes. Just slip, 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 pull it off my shoulder. If you want to, if you want to. I just want you to feel alive. Taking shots with somebody. I just want you to feel my love. Taking shots with my, taking shots with my. I just want you to feel my vibe. Getting hot with somebody. I just want you to feel my vibe. I just want you to, I just want you to.
Until the nightfall, draws and tights off, fight to take a bite off. Shit too clean, I'm a Lysol. What you mean, two swings, I'm a fly ball. Got my eye on a bitch, I'm a cyclops. Shorty make it clap, clap, lights off. Drip, 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 drop, drip, drip. Title, drown in the, I'ma put it on the Bible like shit. I ain't seen a body like this. The hip, the lip, the kiss, the bitch is well equipped, the gift from God. Do it for the one time and I'm gone. Do it for the, I got knocked from a blood and a broad from a bride and a free college bitch that I found on the quad. Shorty wanna take her, wanna dance with a star. She ain't never been at a bar with the man with the bars.
One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. Two shots, yeah, I don't understand your. Three shots, something nobody planned for. Four shots, up, down on the dance floor. One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. Two shots, yeah, I don't understand your. Three shots, something nobody planned for. Four shots, up, down on the dance floor. I'm too alive like a fetus. Hit the dance floor, it's Stan Smith, India Adidas. Take a chance, dance more. Michael Jackson beat it. Everybody stand for the Puerto Rican Jesus. Feed us, teach us, we eating carnitas. Hit the dance floor, blow it up. I'm an extremist. All this ice, chance, you're probably anemic. Dance floor like Babylon, the picture scenic. Sip, sip, drinking margaritas.
Drip, drip, drip from my head to my toes. And my fits all through, flurry till my clothes. Just slip, 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 pull it off my shoulder. If you want to, if you want to. Drip, drip, drip from my head to my toes. And my fits all through, flurry till my clothes. Just slip, 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 pull it off my shoulder. If you want to, if you want to. I just want you to feel alive. Taking shots with somebody. I just want you to feel my love. Taking shots with my, taking shots with my. I just want you to feel my vibe. Getting hot with somebody. I just want you to feel my vibe. I just want you to, I just want you to.
Oh, guess we can steal this for a loop. There you go, guys. New loop for you house music producers. Oh, wait. Ah, fuck. What key? What key? What speed? Let's find out. There it is. Yeah, man. Why do you think I get people to submit songs? I just steal everything out of all these songs. That's why I get you to submit them. Okay, I think this is a very cool track as always.
Pure soul in your body, make you feel right. Full force, can you pull me closer, baby, real tight? Came in with a plan.
I feel like there's a few parts in the vocal where the timing isn't perfect.
Force, can you pull me closer, baby, real tight? Came in with a plan that I couldn't understand where you're at, what you're on, when that I couldn't understand where
Couldn't understand.
that I couldn't understand that I couldn't understand where you're at, what you
Couldn't understand sounds a little rushed. I think just the under part of understand.
that I couldn't understand where you're at, what you're on, when I feel alive all night.
But it's very subtle, but it's a little rushed. Anyway.
One shot, drip, drip, drip from my head to my toes, and my fits all fit.
I mean, I think, I don't know. I think the vocals could just be a little clearer. I don't know.
I just want you
I do think that when these vocals come in, they're like quite a bit louder than the rest.
off my shoulder if you want to, if you want to. I just want you to feel alive, taking
Maybe just solo all of your vocal tracks, or even better yet, render out or solo them all, render them out, and look at them. Because I feel like some of the vocals are just louder than the other vocals. Besides that, if the vocals were just a little bit more intelligible, I think this would be even more of a banger. Because yeah, I can understand like 75% of the words, which is a good amount.
White girl, white clock, until the nightfall, draws and tight jaw, fight to take a bite off. Shit too.
And maybe doing stuff like right here.
White girl, white clock, until the
Instead of coming in, what if it was just ba like let the vocals cut through, not like drop the beat out and then bring the beat back in or something. I think that would be cool because we got like basically bratwurst from 5 seconds in to the end. It's just sausaged up. So maybe just like giving us a couple little
white girl, white clock, until the nightfall, draws and tight jaw, fight to take a bite off. Shit too clean, too clean.
You know what I mean? Like do a little mini Rayhem thing where you hit a kick drum, let the vocal white claw, blah 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 blah, and then come back in with the beat. Just little moments like that, I think would really stand out. That would be cool.
White girl, white, ain't never been at a bar with the man with the bars.
One shot, take a chance on the dance floor. 2 shots, yeah, I don't understand your. 3 shots, something nobody planned for. 4 shots, up down on the dance floor. 1 shot, take a chance on.
Basically, Bratwurst is my Beastie Boys polka cover band. I've never read those words in that sequence before in my life. So thank you. Besides that, it sounds fucking dope, dude. Like this track is very cool. I just think the vocals, like your tracks are always very cool, but sometimes the vocals just get a bit buried to the point where I feel like it's hurting the song because I think there's a whole lot of clever shit happening in the vocals and the attitude and the performance is great. I just wish that they would cut through a little bit more. So yeah, that's basically what I got. All right, we're getting down there. Let's check out. Hey everybody, this is Amplifier Hexagon for another episode of wow. Oh, that's sick. I love that little moment. Can we... Okay, what tempo? Where are we at? Probably 150, right? Every glitch hop song is 150, isn't it? Nope. Where's the kick drum start? $110, you think? Okay, let's do 110. It's close. 100? I don't think it's 110. Let's... It's definitely not 110. Let's try 105. I think 105. I don't know. I thought it was 150, but I don't know anything about anything, so don't listen to me. Okay. Okay, let me just... I'm just gonna try, like making a phrase here. Oh, fuck. Double that snare on that part. Like this right here. And then let's find like a Okay, anyway, I think you got a lot of cool stuff here. I think the reason why it doesn't feel like a song is not only the length, but also the width. No, I'm just joking. It's the fact that it doesn't really go back to a riff or a motif or a theme. It just kind of sounds like you're like playing around with glitch hop sounds, and it doesn't mean it's a song. You know, like it's cool. It's all cool stuff, but it doesn't seem to have a central theme. It just seems to be, something that like a glitch hop producer was fucking around with, making cool sounds. You have to find a song and use these tools that you're good at making, these sounds and these like runs and the drum beats and the snares and shit. They all sound great. But now it's like, what is this song about? Or like, what is the message behind this? What is the journey from start to finish of this song? That I think is what you struggle with when you send in the tracks that, sure, they've got lots of great glitch hop elements and they're a cool beat and stuff, but like, I'm not hearing a song in it, whether that's a melody or vocals or a main hook or sound or something like that. I hope that makes sense, but I think that is probably what your struggle is that you keep playing around with glitch hop production techniques, sound design, finding good drums, doing cool little rolls and fills and stuff like that. But that it should only be a means to an end, and the end goal should be to have a song and to have all those cool things that you come up with really build up whatever the idea of the song is and enforce it and get behind it and empower it. Right now, it sounds like it's all flashy stuff and no song. I hope that makes sense. Cause like, I think if you've been focusing on the production elements, you're doing a great job. It sounds great. I don't have any real notes on like the way it sounds. I just think, okay, now let's put all of those skills, all those production and sound design skills, let's put it to good use, like a superhero. You have like great powers, but you have to use them for good. And the good is writing a song and conveying a message or communicating with your fans or listeners. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. I think it's sounds great in terms of all the glitch hop stuff that's happening. Now let's write music and write songs and communicate with others. Okay, cool. Thank you for sending. Let's check out Metkek Acid ID GTR bootleg. Cool. Dude, I love this so far. It sounds like, and don't take this the wrong way, it sounds like you're in a room with like somebody with a bunch of old like analog gear and you're just like recording it with your phone. You're like, this is sick.
To kick gum and chew ass. and I'm all fucking dick kick him.
Dick kick him. Okay, I have one thought for this track, and it is. Okay, in this drop section, you have you have this like fucking sound, and you have vocals, and they can't coexist. You have to choose one or the other, in my opinion. I think build it up and just drop it with the fucking with the bass and the hip hop vocals and the beat. It can't. I don't like those two elements are fighting each other. I don't even know what it is. It's like ching 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 ching. Like there's like some mid-range elements that kind of sound like it's sampled out of maybe the original. It says it's a bootleg. I'm not familiar with the song, but I think what you got to do is choose one or the other. One note hype line with the trance gate. It's all over the vocals. The vocals in that thing are in a really like ugly fight, like not like a graceful fight, but like a fight where they're both really drunk and they're trying to punch each other, but they're just like kind of hitting themselves by accident. Yeah, I think Carve Out got nuked years ago. Well, I don't think so. I think it's fucking cool. I think if you just carved out certain sections of the song, okay, we're going to hit it with the vocal, blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah vocal thing, okay? Without the yink, 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 and then build it up, and then leave the vocal behind and hit us with the chink, 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 and then maybe at the end of each bar, you drop the chink, chink, chink thing out, and you bring in the vocal, and then the vocal goes away, the chink, chink, chink thing comes back in. It's more of like an arrangement thing, because you have two conflicting elements that are not working very well together. So, like, I would try to time-based multiplex them. Project 5 is thinking of building it back. Yeah, I think it's hype. It's like it gets me fucking going, but the conflict between the vocals and the ying 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 thing is just kind of ruining it because I can't get into the vocal and I can't get into the ying 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 thing. So those are my thoughts. Besides that, I think it sounds dope, man. I love it. It's aggressive and dirty. All right, last one of the day, and then it's time for Morgan's birthday party 2.0. Hybrid Noise remix Rock Start Dookie. Don't know who is the artist or who is the name, but I'm going to listen to it anyway. Here we go. Okay, what the fuck? Is this like a 1980s horror movie?
¿Me sigue o no me sigue todavía? Sí, siempre nota los ojos como Jelly y de negro como Ley, siempre huele. Sí, era un sacaba F, pero era la única F que yo saco de la tienda del Alex. Y la bang, y la rock, todas las pizzas quieren drugs y prende como un volcán. Todas las pizzas de Milán en efectivo, un huracán le puso un pañuelo a la baby chingue como un musulmán. Todas las sí, tengo peleas que le dieron mucho al y se fueron. Sí, yo le meto el bicho, yo soy adentro siempre cozy. Sí, sí, se fueron un bicho en el coding. A todos mis haters siempre loading. Que la nota siempre flow. You can call it shit con más nota los ojos. Yo me quiero como Rey, siempre era un sacaba ese fuera de la noche. Que yo saco de artificial para que me copien las canciones y no tiene miedo ni con 4 o 5 clones. No, la sangre del rey vale más que los misiones. Doctor Strange están teniendo visiones. Soy famoso en las redes sin tener apariciones. Un arquitecto de prolijo que no tomo dimensiones. Logré de mi carrera al lado de estos perdedores. Atentamente lo mejor de los mejores. Sí, para que mejoren. Sí.
Okay, my thoughts on this so far is that the vocal being so distorted all of the time, I feel like that's not the move. I think you could fuck with the vocal in certain parts, maybe in the drop, but in the breakdowns, it's not. It's just, it's kind of, it doesn't make sense to me to have the vocal that fucked up that amount of time. You know what I mean? I think that the vocal should just be the vocal and then maybe fuck it up for the drop or for the right before the drop or something like that. But yeah, Donald Duck is a good call. It does kind of sound like Donald Duck. I feel like the high mids are just so hyped. I'd almost like to hear this without the, like, maybe, I don't think the vocals should be there. And I wonder if that would solve my problem that I have with the high mids. Because, like, you've got, like, this super aggressive, noisy, like, synth thing, right? But then you also have the vocals that are very harsh in that top mid-range. So I wonder what this drop would sound like without the vocals in it. I think that's probably the way to go. The track definitely has a lot of attitude and it goes pretty hard. I just think that it just kind of sounds like really loud noise when it drops. I sound like a fucking old man talking about electronic music in general, but it's all just noise. But like, it is kind of just noise here. Like there's a like it's super noisy, and then the vocals being all fucked up. It's kind of disorientating. So maybe, I don't know, try this drop without the vocals in it whatsoever. I don't think the vocals need to go the whole time. Just like rock out. Maybe bring in the vocal at the very end of a bar or something. Drop the drums out, and then back into the drop again, you know? Just be a little, I don't know, a little more strategic with the placement of the vocals.
Un arquitecto de prolijo que no tomo dimensiones.
Same thing here. I just think that the vocals, I can't understand one single word. So I think the vocals are just adding unnecessary noise and complexity to the drop, when the drop should be more simplistic, hitting hard. Now there's just this complexity that I'm struggling to focus or to, like, you know, see through. So I think that just taking the vocals out of the drop is going to make a gigantic improvement. Besides that, sounds dope. Okay. Now we actually listen to the last one. Holy fuck, look at the straight. Look at that. Holy shit, I could shave with that. All right, let's have a listen.
Swish.
Okay, this is sick. Like, I like the... It sounds like a robot that's, like, high on meth trying to kill me, and it's great. The mid-range, however, is slightly painful. So let's just see if we can chill that out. I'm not suggesting you do this in your master bus. I'm suggesting you fix it in the mix. But okay, so now listen, I'll go back and forth between me trying to chill out your mid-range and me not trying to chill out your mid-range, and see if you can tell the difference. Because remember, there's going to be a bunch of stoned hippies listening to this music in a forest somewhere, and they're not going to be wearing earplugs. So it's really your responsibility to chill out those mid-range vibes. They're going to, if you ain't redlining, you ain't headlining. That's basically my only piece of advice. And also hybrid noise. Yes, I think you did miss yours, but there's a VOD on YouTube. As soon as we're done this, it'll be on my YouTube channel. So just go look it up there under the live tab, and you'll be able to go and hear what I had to say about yours. Yeah, man, like just be careful, because like dubstep is a careful balance between aggressive sounds, very loud, distorted, aggressive sounds, but it has to be a balanced thing, and there's just way too much of this kind of 1 to 5,000 hertz. This... So yeah, you're probably not going to have to do any sort of stuff in your master. What you're probably going to have to do is find whatever is the most offensive element, like whatever that whatever that sound is, and just like just chill it out a bit. And maybe you do that with an EQ. Maybe there's something in the reverb that's causing, I don't know, you're gonna have to investigate. But my only real thought on this track so far is that I love the flow and the vibe of it, but the just the harshness of that frequency is a bit overwhelming. And that is what I have to say about that. Okay, guys, I have a birthday party for my girlfriend to attend shortly. So let me just go ahead and, I don't even know why I did this, but here we go. How can I improve my kick and snare? Like, should I try another sample? A lot of the time, I think just flying through samples, like sometimes if I'm working on a track and I'm struggling with the sound of the kick drum and I'm trying all kinds of stuff, you know, EQing and compressing and distorting and trying a bunch of stuff. Sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, maybe this just isn't the right kick drum. So I'll kind of bookmark the kick drum, or I'll move it over somewhere so I can always go back to it if I want to, but then I'll just start throwing in a bunch of random kick drums. Is this a pit stain? Oh my God, look at this pit stain. It's super hot and humid. This is the biggest pit stain I've ever had in my life. This is incredible. Anyway, yeah, sometimes going through random samples and just mixing it up, you'll never know what you'll find. So let me go home and shower because I'm clearly drenched in sweat. This is seriously, like, this is beyond pit stain. This is side stain now. Anyway. All right. I love you all. Have a good weekend, and I'll